Good morning. It's currently 7 o'clock and it's finally show day, the day that I've been waiting for and anticipating for, well, this whole prep, to be honest with you. It's mad to think how quickly this time's flown, given the fact that I started prep, I think, back the beginning of May. And yeah, we're now here, 7th of September. So last night, last meal went in about 10:30, 11 o'clock, maybe just gone. Just kind of space things out a little bit, and so far we're looking pretty decent. Really happy with condition, really happy with how things have gone over the last couple of days in terms of the load. Shifted a lot of water last night as well. I ended up falling asleep on the sofa, which you can see I'm still sat on now, because I went up to bed and I was way too warm, just sort of laying there staring at the ceiling. So ended up coming down here where it's a lot cooler and the temperature's a lot more bearable. And it wasn't actually too bad, to be honest. I had to throw the cushions off because they're white. I don't particularly want to stain them brown. Nearly stained the toilet seat yesterday when I got back after having my tan, but managed to clean that up pretty quick, as I obviously don't want to get charged for the Airbnb and any issues, or especially even foot the cleaning bill. So Ewan's been up and about already. He's shot off to do his cardio, sort of give me a rough plan of attack for today. When he gets back, he's bringing back coffee, which will go down a treat just to get things moving on a little bit. In terms of digestion, coffee normally sort of shifts things out, which is kind of what we need. And you know, I've had like this really weird feeling over the last couple of days where it kind of feels like I'm bloated, but I'm not bloated. It's just where my stomach and my sort of midsection is so tight. That's kind of the feeling that it has for me. But no problems with digestion the last couple of days after getting the drink in that was shown in my previous video. If you've not seen it, check it out. That was the 1 day out video, and yeah, in a really good spot, really happy with condition. Last night it honestly blew my mind. When I was on the phone this morning to Emma, I was saying to her that when I was getting tanned yesterday, that I did kind of get in my own head a little bit, and I was sort of looking around as you do when you're being tanned and you've got all these other blokes in there with you thinking, fucking hell, what's going on here? But then after I came out, literally the minute my tan dried, Ewan came in and grabbed hold of me, took me out into a little side room, did some posing, whatever. He then showed me the pictures, and that honestly set off the buzz again, just seeing the condition. And again, when we came back to the Airbnb, after getting like my next meal in the car on the way back, at which point I was absolutely ravenous. Seeing those pictures, which will be shared later on in the video, yeah, my mind was blown. So happy with the look this year, and I can easily say that it's the best look that I'll be bringing to stage. And you know, it sounds cocky and big-headed, but the competition or the condition that I'm in at the moment will be really difficult to beat, and anyone that does, fair fucking play to them. So the orders are in. So basically the setup for today is that when he gets back, he's going to tell me my sort of layout for the food in terms of what my first meal is going to look like, which I'll show you, and sort of leading up into, like, before I step on stage, probably be an additional 2 meals going in with a small amount of water just to keep the carbs flowing around nicely, probably a bit of salt on them meals as well. And then sort of between, say, what would be my last meal and when I step on stage, it will just be little bits like chicken, small amounts of chicken, rice cakes, honey, and that sort of thing. But yeah, other orders, I wanted to go out for sort of like a short walk, but he's told me to chill, which is actually pretty difficult for me to actually sit still, because I cannot sit still for fucking love nor money. But anyway, I'm going to carry on watching YouTube and yeah, wait for Ewan to get back, get my first meal in, check in with him as well, and then yeah, get things sorted for the day. So that's posing rounds done, pictures taken, very happy with the look this morning, and just had my first meal, which was actually quite nice. It sounds a bit random to have for breakfast, which was mince, rice, coconut oil, rice cakes, honey, salt, which is much needed. Also just downed 200 ml of water and an espresso. So far we're looking pretty good. Feeling dry as a bone this morning and like really sucked in. So Gonna let the espresso do its job and get everything sorted and get ready to leave sort of within the next hour and a half or so, but literally just chilling out watching YouTube. So yeah, the buzz is real right now. Some of the pictures we've got just now are honestly insane. The lighting in the garden was pretty decent, so it gives us quite a nice point to kind of work with. So probably pose again after this meal and then sort of drip feed a bit of food in during the course of the day, but it's nice not having the stress of having to sort of like cook everything's all ready to go. And it's actually, you know, nice to have that reassurance of having all the prep and stuff that's gone into sorting my food and having everything ready. So yeah, looking forward to getting to the venue, getting registered, getting my top coat of tan done. Then I can just chill out, eat, probably doom scroll Instagram, and yeah, wait for my time. So I made it to the venue a couple of hours ago. I've been in and had my top coat, which looks pretty decent, to be fair. It's probably the best this tan's ever looked, and that's probably down to like the dryness and whatever. So that's on. I'm literally just sat chilling out. Just had my second meal, potentially a third going in before I go on stage. Ewan and Ryan's just had a look over me as well, and things are honestly looking really good. Really happy with the condition, the shape, and how full we are at the moment ultimately. And so far this morning I've had about 4 grams of salt in, which is helping with sort of like contraction and that sort of thing. And like the striations through my chest and my shoulders are crazy. Like my core, it's like, where the fuck's my waist gone? But I'm very happy. Word of the boss is just to sit down, chill out, don't move, don't use too much energy, mental energy, physical energy. So I'm not exactly going anywhere. Literally just waiting around now to get registered at about 12:30. Once I'm registered, obviously get my number and that sort of thing, and then just wait for Ewan to shout me when to go back. So it means I'm going to be sat around for a little while, sat outside because it's nice and cool out here at the moment. It's quite warm in the venue, but apart from that, nothing much else to report. Just got 200 ml of water in as well, in a recycled recycled Costa cup, just to keep the food moving around. So yeah, so far I'm feeling pretty decent. There's a lot of people walking around out here at the moment. Some of the lineups have honestly been pretty crazy, and you know, it's cool to kind of be back in this environment again after taking sort of the last 18 months or so out. But pretty much at this point everything's done. There's nothing else I can do apart from step up there, give it my all, and leave no stone unturned, and literally just fight to the death. So I'm going to sit and carry on chilling out. Not really got much else to report. Next time you see me will probably be when I'm on stage and also when I'm off. So we've just moved inside, probably moved inside a couple of hours ago. It started raining. Ewan's had another look over me and got a little bit more food in. So I've had another 4 rice cakes, teaspoon of honey, 2 grams of salt, and 200 ml of water. That's gone in just now. So it's now 25 to 2. So I've got about half an hour or so until I've got to head backstage and get myself ready, where I'll be having another 2 rice cakes, teaspoon of honey, 2 grams of salt and 100 ml of water, and then start the pump up process once the next few classes go on stage. So got Masters Men's Physique and another class, and then I'll be on after that. So everything's all pretty much done. The hard work's pretty much finished. It's just a case of getting up there now and just fighting it out really. So really looking forward to it. I mean, it's been a massive whirlwind, this whole process, this whole journey. I've been looking forward to it for so long, and for it now to land today, it's such an incredible feeling. By all means, this isn't my season over, because I've got more shows planned after today, but we'll kind of see how it goes on from here. But you know, the process in its entirety, working with Ewan this whole way through, his help, his support, the detail that's gone into everything, having him here on show day is honestly a massive help. I've been so settled, so rested, not stressed, anything like that. What he's offered, what he's provided, and the attention, it's massive. Like in the past, I've had coaches say to me, look, I'll be there on show day. They've not shown up, and then I'm there on show day thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing here? What am I doing next? When should I eat? When should I drink? Because I don't particularly know. Having you in support and knowing what I know now means that going into future shows, I may well have a bit more of a better idea in terms of what it is that I'm doing. And you know, I know full well that going forwards through this season and even other seasons in the future, that he'll be there, he'll have my back. He's had it all the way through. So it's just coming up to about 10 to 2. I'm about to head backstage probably in the next sort of like 10 minutes or so. and I've just been sorting my stuff out because I've got another, like, I guess you could say, snack going in, alongside 200ml of water. So all I've done is I've sandwiched 2 rice cakes together. So that's 2 rice cakes, about a teaspoon of honey, 2 grams of salt, and then I've also got 100ml of water going in as well, which I'll take probably at about 2:15-ish, maybe sort of 20 past 2, which will then go into my system, and then that's where I'll then sort of start pumping up once they've got the first, like, probably when they've got the first category out the way. So yeah, the buzz is starting to kick in a little bit now, feeling really good, trying to keep my head nice and clear before actually stepping up there, because just don't really want any unnecessary stress or anything like that at this point. So Emma's very kindly gonna record me up on stage as best she can, and then yeah, when I come off, we'll obviously show you the result. I'll do a little bit of a roundup, and then probably actually do the little sign-off section once we've gone and got some food. Obviously, depending on timing, depending on the result, I could potentially make the overall today, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's gonna be a strong lineup, but in all honesty, I'm not particularly bothered. So yeah, once I get these rice cakes in, the job is done. Everything is done. Just a case of pumping up, getting a nice decent pump, not going too much because I don't want to drive glycogen out of my body, and then yeah, get up on stage, just kind of keep my shit together, pose nicely, keep the flow, go through the routine, go through the comparisons if I have to, and then yeah, see what happens. So here we go.
Tommy, Harrison and Eric. Gentlemen standing on the line, thank you. On the line. On the line, gentlemen. Arms down, thank you. Arms down. A quarter turn facing the wing. And to your right. From the side of your left hand behind your head. And relax, audience members, a round of applause. Gentlemen, make your way to the rear of the stage, thank you.
So that's the show done and dusted. I'm not going to lie, it's not the result that I was hoping for. Ended up placing 6th out of 9 guys, which, you know, it hurts, but, you know, the decision is the decision, and it is what it is. So there's nothing I can do or say to change it. All I can do is just put the record straight in my head in terms of where I want to go next, which, you know, I'm pretty certain in the fact of what I actually want to do, and, you know, just not let it get to me too much, because if I do, it will just drive me into a hole, and that's not exactly what we want. So just driven over to the Trafford Centre, currently sat in 5 guys. I did have a bowl of cream of rice in the car on the way over here, but I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this because I've waited what will be 20 weeks for this. It's literally all I've thought about this week, so I'll do another little bit in the car on the way home, sort of thoughts and feelings and opinions and, you know, potential direction of where I'm going next. But for all the messages of support from everybody that's, you know, done everything they can to try and lift me up, the support of my coach, Ryan, the videographer that we had there, it really does go a long way. And to be honest, for me, this isn't the end. Even if that did cross my mind when I stepped off stage, it absolutely won't be the end. I'll just bounce back bigger, better, and a lot more confident, a lot more resilient. And the one thing that everybody wants to see is me binning off the board shorts and stepping into classic. So that's on the cards. But again, like, I'm not going to make any rash decisions in this moment. Going to give it a few days to kind of process what's happened, talk to those close to me, talk to Ewan, and put sort of like a game plan together on where we go next for the rest of the season. But anyway, I'm not going to lie, this 5 guys is staring me dead in the face, so I'm going to absolutely inhale it. So after that 5 guys, went down an absolute treat. Really did enjoy that. I didn't splurge out too much. I only had a little bacon cheeseburger with sort of like a couple of fillings in it. I didn't really want to go too big, to be honest. I was kind of toying with the idea of going with a big burger, but I thought, you know what, I don't want to be waking up feeling like shit in the morning. I also had a portion of fries with that as well, and 0 calorie drink, because, you know, you got to watch the calories. So we sort of had a little bit of a kind of an unexpected detour around the traffic centre, because we were going to walk the long way back to the car, but we ended up getting lost. Picked up a few extra supplies from one of the little shops and just had a couple of brownies as well, so it's nice to have some decent food. So, you know, do apologise that this particular episode's a lot shorter than what I thought it was going to be. I would like it to have been a bit longer, a little bit more upbeat and less depressing, but then really, like, it shows the realities of the sport. Even though I'd gone probably the last 4-5 weeks or so, had it in my head that things were going to go my way, that obviously wasn't the case today, and it is utterly disappointing. I could go round and round in circles talking about the ifs, the buts, the maybes, the what the fucks, everything else in between, but, you know, all this is going to do is just poured more fuel on the fire for me. I know it's too easy to say, and, you know, probably too hasty to say at the moment, but I'm going to give it a good few days to sort of think about it. Be back on track roughly on Tuesday. Got a full day of rest tomorrow. Still enjoying some good food in the mix, which, you know, it's got to be done after spending the last 20 odd weeks dieting. Plans that are afoot at the moment, who knows? I've not made a set decision. I've got a rough sort of penciled out idea in my head, which, you know, I'm going to discuss with those close to me, Emma, my coach, a few friends, just to kind of see, you know, what to do going forwards, really. You know, I like to kind of look to other people for sort of advice and honest input, rather than making a decision that, you know, could potentially be the right decision or the wrong decision. But, you know, I think, honestly, speaking out loud, the time has come to ditch the board shorts, get rid of them completely, because, you know, I think I've kind of stretched out the life in that a little bit too much, and, you know, today's proved exactly that yes, it's a category that I like, but then it kind of shows in a way that the sport is changing in what's being looked at in that sort of setting. Now, don't get me wrong, when I signed up to Manchester, I thought it was a bit of a far stretch. There were, I'd probably say about 80% of the lineups were pretty stacked. A lot of people in each category. I think to date, off the top of my head, that's probably the biggest lineup that I've stood in front of, out of 9 people. Yes, it is gutting, the fact that I placed 6th out of 9 fellas. Don't get me wrong, I was in amongst some really good athletes on that stage. But I'm not, you know, I'm starting to spiral a little bit there. I'm not going to go into the details of it because there's no need for me to. I don't really want to go down that route, don't really want to talk in that way, and all it's going to do is just going to spur me on for, who knows, either the rest of the season or into my off season that may start sooner rather than later. But this is, you know, it's a decision that I've got to go away and put a bit of time and a bit of thought into, because it's got to be right. The time's either right, or, you know, it's time to kind of explore other things. No, I'm not going into CrossFit or fucking High Rocks or anything like that. I'm absolutely going to stay in the bodybuilding world because it's what I know, it's what I love, it's what I enjoy, it's what I put a lot of time and effort and way too much money into. But in all honesty, I wouldn't have it any other way. And even down to the support levels, the support of friends, of family, of a small community that's been built over the course of this prep, the people that I've met, the experiences that I've had, the things that I've learned, the sacrifices that have been made, the time that's been almost taken away, which, you know, will get regained when I go into an off season. I can get away with having a little bit of fun, but all I will say right now is that this is not the end. Absolutely not the end. Even though that did kind of cross my mind when I came off stage, it did absolutely go through my mind of what is the point? Why am I doing this? Because that's not what I want. But I never have had a defeatist attitude. I always have had the attitude of getting back up, standing on your feet, and knuckling down and getting the fuck on with it, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So we're not too far away from home now, so I'm going to chill out. Not going to lie, I'm going to ignore my phone for a bit because I've been on it nearly for the last 4 days straight. Well, 3 days, yeah, 4 days straight. And it's about time that I kind of left it to one side for a bit. I will be dropping sort of pictures and updates, and when the actual stage photography comes through, no doubt I'll post those on my Instagram feed, so you can see what's gone on. And yeah, I think I'll leave it there. So thank you to everybody for the love, the support, the kind words, the messages, everything like that. Please like this video, drop a comment, subscribe to my channel, and next thing on the next chapter is to document my off season, which will be sort of like quite a nice, decent series, which, you know, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into. When it will begin, at this point, who knows? But again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
I'll have to edit this out because I just put your gum in there.
The death stare. The sort of things I've had to sacrifice for this in particular is enjoying food out, spare time, just I guess you could say life in general. There's been a massive sacrifice across the board. I'm a massive foodie, so I love my food. Not being able to have an off plan or go out for tea and that sort of thing, sacrificing time at home with Emma, has really sort of taken its toll on this journey in particular. It's not been easy by any means. Luckily, she's been quite forgiving in the fact of actually letting me compete. But hopefully, like after this show season's finished, I can then kind of regain my social life and have a bit of fun and enjoyment.
Wait to go under the lights.
Yeah.
Just wait, like, your skin's literally fucking, you can see it now, I mean, it's paper thin. When you hit that front shot, yeah, I mean, the Adam thigh and the front double, when you hit that under the lights, that's just going to be gnarly. Like, we seen with the picture last night, in that lighting, how dry and fucking, yeah, that's just going to be wild. That's sick. You alright?
Yeah, feeling good.
Contracted? Well, look at this. Vascularity.
Not on that arm line. Since I've had that sleeve, I've got no vascularity there whatsoever.
Do you know,
Sometimes I do.
it's weird, isn't it? Like with tattooing,
But, yeah, I don't think like kind of not kills the veins, but